Hey guys, this is Chauncey from Good Music to Know, and today we're joined by Sleep Club, an artist known for crafting fuzz-soaked, emotionally rich music that lives somewhere between grit and grace. His latest 2025 releases tap into themes of disconnection, longing, and the blurry space between reality and reflection, and we're super stoked to have him on the show today. So welcome, Matt.
I've never heard anyone talk about my music that way. That was nice.
Yeah. Okay, so jumping into the sound shifts. So, I listened to all your stuff in 2024, and there's definitely with these newer tracks a noticeably heavier, more textured edge compared to the dreamier tones in 2004. So what sparked that sonic shift? Was it intentional, or was it more of kind of a natural evolution for you?
Yeah, so I started I've been playing guitar for 16 years, and the last band I was in was called the Skylines, and we were an indie pop band. So originally Sleep Club was just all the ideas that I thought were good that the other bandmates in the Skylines didn't love. So I was just kind of taking all the indie pop ideas that weren't quite working for that band and just kind of doing them as demos for Sleep Club. But that band, we sort of realized we were reaching the end of it because our singer was going to graduate school. And so we all loved the band, but I started thinking if I'm not in that band anymore, what would make me feel fulfilled as a real solo project and not just as an outlet for demos. And I'd always kind of loved heavier music, and I didn't really feel like my voice fit indie pop as much as I wanted it to. I kind of had to find a way to make it all work. And that's kind of what that shift was towards the darker, heavier stuff that I do now.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely a fan because it also has this nostalgic 90s grunge feel to it. So yeah, it's super cool. And then your newest track, Take These Hands, feels like it's reaching for maybe something. It's either clarity or connection, maybe even escape. So what was the story behind that particular track?
I'm trying to get better at writing lyrics, but that song was sort of an exercise in talking very loosely about AI.
Okay.
And so it's you wouldn't necessarily get that from the lyrics, but Take These Hands, Show Me What I Feel. I think the title is kind of me referring to I think eventually I'm nervous that we're going to have other things like AI kind of telling us how to do everything, asking it for help. And I just I get nervous about the kind of helplessness I see people already kind of exhibiting with AI, using it to write emails, which is fine if you need to, but it gets way more nefarious than that, obviously, using AI as a therapist or kind of doing all these kind of dystopian things. And so that is sort of what that song is about, because I just feel this kind of dread about AI kind of enveloping us.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. And now they have AI, I think that's making music.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, that should be interesting, but I just can't imagine anyone actually jumping on the AI music train. Where's the emotion? Where's the authenticity? I don't know, but let's see. Your other song that I really like, So the People on the TV, there's a clear message of maybe about disillusionment and media facades. Is that coming from a personal experience, or is it more of in commentary of what we're all fed?
Kind of both. I feel like social media is just so addicting, and even myself, I try to not be addicted to my phone, but there's definitely times where I'm what the hell am I doing right now? I don't need to be on social media. I think everyone is kind of thinking that, and especially right now where we just have our information sold all the time, sort of not even in any way is there companies are not even hiding it anymore. That we just get fed advertisements, you can talk, and then you get an ad about what you're talking about. There's just all this stuff. And I feel when I moved to Boulder, I'd moved from a great community in North Carolina, where I lived before this. And I just remember feeling so much more personal connection. And I don't know what it is about Boulder, but I just feel maybe it's because it's a much wealthier place that everyone has more of a face to them and a digital face. There's a lot of influencers that live here. There's a lot of celebrities that live here. And yeah, I just started feeling a little bit disconnected in this weird way that I couldn't quite pinpoint. And then I really just think it is a lot of social media and kind of posturing. So that definitely kind of inspired that song.
I lived in LA once upon a time, so it's definitely the epicenter for that.
Yeah, I'm a photographer outside of music, so I go to LA every once in a while, and I definitely, very cool city, but I don't think I could do it.
No, it's another story. Yeah. And then Skyline, which I absolutely love. Now I'm nervous. I'm did I interpret the lyrics of this wrong? But Skyline, I wasn't sure. Maybe it felt like a breakup, but a breakup with a moment, maybe, or it could be a person, or I don't know. Maybe you can also share the story behind this track, because the lyrics, I suppose, are a bit ambiguous, open for interpretation. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, I don't think you can interpret lyrics wrong. I think like whatever the song hits you is the right way to hear it. That song, I think, yeah, but you're pretty right. Like, I think kind of a breakup with a place as well as a person. Like, you're just like really trying to get away from your daily grind and like kind of disillusioned with where you're coming from. Sort of, I think subconsciously I started writing about that, about moving from North Carolina out to Colorado, because I loved where I lived in North Carolina, but there's just no way for me to make money. I think before I had left, I was working at a rock climbing gym. I think I was making $7.50 an hour. And it was like, okay, cool. If I do this for 10 hours after taxes, I come home with like $52. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, I love this. But yeah, I mean, one of the last lines in that song is like, it's all burning down. I think I just kind of realized like there's no way that this is gonna work. Like, I could be here doing whatever I want, and like I sometimes joke that I have the two worst gifts for making money, which is photography and music as my talents. And yeah, I was definitely distinctly feeling that there, where I was like, well, damn, this is a slippery path.
It's just so hard nowadays to monetize anything creative as well. Like, it will always be difficult. I'm surprised you didn't think of maybe going to Nashville, because Nashville's always been a big music hub, but I feel like maybe in the past few years, it's like exploded with like the indie, grunge, rock scene. Like, everyone is going there. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it, but I think I had this sort of like naive thought that Nashville is only country.
Yeah.
But which is funny because like I actually do like country music, and I like playing country guitar and like folk guitar. So like maybe I could have done it, but yeah, I think now if I knew that was an option for like grunge music, I probably would have given it a whirl. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day.
Yeah. So when I close my eyes, so this track, I had this track on repeat for a very long time. So this track builds this like dark hypnotic mood. And then it kind of just explodes at the end. It feels like wrestling with maybe like connection and disconnection all at once. So what's at the core of this song for you?
So that song's kind of about death, loosely. And that was the first song I think I wrote where I was like, oh, I really like this. I mean, because I had written for bands, I mean, basically for my whole adult life. And remember thinking like in other projects, like, yeah, this works, but it doesn't really feel exactly like, I mean, me. If I had to distill my style to under 3 minutes, I feel like When I Close My Eyes was the first one where I was like, oh, I really like this. And so that song gave me a lot of confidence. But yeah, it's about death and like after losing someone kind of, at first you have all these vivid memories and then time goes on and yeah, you slowly start realizing like when you close your eyes and you're thinking like things are getting hazy and sort of like the fight against that. But then also it's kind of just a natural passage of time that happens. I mean, your brain is trying to protect you, but at the same time, it's difficult because you have things that you really care about that are not quite central in your brain anymore.
Yeah. In like regards to like your sound and the different layers, do you usually build a song starting with a lyric or like a guitar tune or maybe just a mood you're chasing? How does like the construction of a song come together for you?
I'm trying to shift away from always doing guitar first because all the 4 kind of main songs that aren't demos I have on Spotify right now, I've started with guitar riffs and then I fill in the lyrics after that. But I think like looking back at all of them, they've done what I want, which is sort of reintroduce me as a darker artist, and they're doing a lot better than I would have thought. But the lyrics are the weak point for me. So this next song that actually comes out on Monday is called Bellows, and it's sort of about same themes, like kind of being disillusioned with where you live, but finding joy in being stuck there. Yeah. And I think the lyrics are way stronger. So that song started also with a guitar riff, but before I added any other kind of textures like I did with all the songs I currently have, I just was like, I gotta write lyrics for this. And I'm gonna figure out how the guitar parts fill in as opposed to filling in the lyrics after all the guitar parts are in there.
Yeah. And what kind of story do you feel your newer releases are telling, like all together, if any?
So I'm kind of debating whether I want my next releases to be part of an EP. And so I think I'll still release them as singles one at a time and then kind of recompile and add a bonus track or 2 to the EP. But I think right now it's kind of conceptual. The first song, Bellows, like I just mentioned, is about kind of finding love in a place that you don't like. And then maybe the last song I think might be called Annihilation, which is just about the end of the world. Yeah. So Hopefully not in like a meteor hits us and we all explode kind of way, but like the slow kind of like dispersion of the things that make being a human, which sounds super depressing. I'm a pretty happy guy, but yeah, I think that might be kind of the theme, is like finding joy in things going absolutely horribly.
Yeah, you're covering some good subject matters in these singles.
I mean, you kind of have to. I think with the world that we live in, you can't really be like, if you let it all get to you, it's just there's no hope, you know.
Yeah. And that actually segues into my next question. I was going to ask, like, what's next on the docket for you for 2025? But you had mentioned an EP. Do you have like any shows coming up or any collaborations?
So right now it's just me. This is a solo project. The last band I was in has dispersed, but our lead guitar player from that band and our drummer are still here in Boulder. So I think we've been loosely chatting about maybe doing that as a live band, and then I just have to find a bass player. The drummer is super comfortable with playing kind of shoegaze, grungier stuff, but the lead guitar player from that other band is the most talented guitar player I've ever met, but is not really a shoegaze guy. So I think I'd have to kind of like bring him up to speed on creating all the tones, because I mean, you could tell, I'm sure, by the music, like I'm very particular about how things sound, and it's hard to mix these songs. So I'm really curious to see how it goes live. I'm not a loud singer. I like have all these weird pedals that kind of do very specific things. So I'm kind of curious to see like how that works live. I think I can do it, but it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah. And like overall, what's been the most surprising part of how your sound has changed over time?
I think it's just like this sound. I think I've always had it, even since I was a kid. When I started playing guitar at like 12 or 13, I was always writing like very simple songs, but with like lots of little things coming in and out in the background, and like a lot of little layers that are all simple, but kind of end up making things sound a lot bigger than they are by their parts. But I was never confident in my voice, so that always held me back. And I think like I only discovered kind of shoegaze, grungier music maybe like 8 years ago now. Like I always knew it was there, but not how it would apply to a sound that I related to. My friend Daisy from college heard a demo that I wrote, and she was like, "Hey, this kind of reminds me of this band Dive." And
yeah, I saw them last year. Yeah.
Nice. They're one of the best bands I've ever seen. But yeah, so I went and listened to Dive, and I was like, oh, I get it. Like this is like my vocals don't need to be like front and center. Like I can work on writing these cool guitar parts that I've always had, and then like use the vocals kind of just to support everything and not in like a lead vocalist kind of way. Which I'm not really that guy, to be honest. You know, like I'm curious to see how I'll do like live with charisma, because I think like I like supporting other people, and being in the front and center with like vocals or even just in a live band is sort of going to be new to me, but I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I think those are the majority of the questions I had for you. But with that being said, are there any like final words that you want to leave your fans and the listeners with?
I guess thank you. This has been like the craziest month I've ever had for music. Like I think a month ago when I closed my eyes was at like 15,000 streams, and it's going to hit 100,000 today.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm hoping the only thing I'll say to everyone who's listening to that one on repeat is go listen to the other ones on repeat a little bit too. But no, any support that I have is kind of insane. I thought this was going to be a slow burn of a project, but it's definitely going faster, which is cool.